Hello everyone, my name is Pawan from S3CSCA.
And I'm Rutvik from S3CSCA.
Our project is visualizing a graph using Java as an object-oriented programming language.
The main objective of our project is to visualize complex graphs in an easy way. So let's get started.
Okay, now before going into the implementation of GUI, let's look at the vertex class. It is a generic class. It contains a list named incident edges. It contains position and degree. The two main methods of vertex class are add edge, which adds an edge in the graph, remove edge, which removes an edge between two vertices.
Now similarly, we have a generic class called edge, which contains list of endpoints and also the positions of the edges in the graph. And the main methods are the endpoints, which represents the endpoints of the edge, and also remove edge, which removes an edge from a graph.
Okay, here we have the graph interface, which contains a variable number of vertices, contains a list of vertices, contains number of edges, contains list of edges, the method signature of the method, edges, get edge, and get vertex, and vertices, and so on.
So here we have a class called undirected graph, which implements the given graph interface, and all the methods are implemented according to the rules. And we have a constructor called undirected graph, which will initialize the graph containing number of vertices as 0, edges as 0, and we have a new list of vertices. So the main important methods are get edge and the list of edges, which will return an array list of edges, and we have a method called get edge, which will return the edge when we supply the origin vertex and destination vertex. And we have a method called get vertex. When we give a vertex, it will return the vertex number. And similarly we have insert edge, which will insert an edge between a graph. And now the most important method in this class is this depth first traversal, which we'll be using in the GUI part. And we have a clear method which will set the graph to empty.
Okay, now let's look at the basic GUI implementation. So we actually divided our graph GUI into three parts. Graph controller, which controls the event. Graph view, draws the vertices and edges. The other one is graph model, which implements all the necessary functions such as clear graph, connect graph, and disconnect graph. Now let us see graph view class, which is responsible for drawing the vertices and edges. Wondering what is a stage? A stage is a top-level container that holds a scene which contains visual elements. And the other one, canvas. Canvas represents a blank rectangle area where the application can draw or map input events from the user. Context menu is basically used to change the program states, and here the text is used for displaying graph statistics. The list of circle contains the vertex circles of the graph. Vertex gestures contains the mouse gestures associated with the vertices. And then we put the canvas as height as default value 600. Similarly, edge width and vertex radius as 3 and 15. And we have draw graph method, which removes and draws all vertices and edges of the graph. And draw vertices, which draws all vertices lines in a graph. All vertices in graph are removed and then redrawn using model coordinates. We have other methods like draw edges, which draws all edges lines in a graph. All edges in a graph are removed and then redrawn using model coordinates. And then we have enable vertex highlight and disable vertex highlight, which these two highlights a given graph by changing stroke color from black to blue, and disable vertex highlight disables highlight for given vertex by changing stroke color from blue to black. We have update statistics text method, which updates the statistics text displaying the number of vertices and edges and whether or not the graph is complete and connected. And we have the method set context edge, which sets the context edge to the given graph. We have delete context vertex, deletes the stored context vertex. So we have some methods, and this is a method named toggle show statistics, which toggles whether the statistics are being displayed or not. We have add canvas gestures, which adds a mouse event handlers to the canvas. We have add graph gestures, which stores vertex gestures object, permitting the binding of vertex objects to mouse event.
As Ritvik said, graph model is a class which implements all the necessary functions such as clear graph, connect graph, and disconnected graph. So here we have an undirected graph, and it is a graph that is being displayed, and we have the vertex coordinates, we have the edge coordinates, and we have the vertex which is last added. Now we have methods called add vertex, which adds a vertex to a graph, storing the given element and having x and y coordinates. And we have move vertex, which moves a given vertex from initial to final coordinates. And we have a map of vertex called get vertices, which returns mapping of vertices to their corresponding x and y. We have an method called add edge, which adds an edge to the graph, storing given element and having the given origin and destination vertices. And we have a method called delete vertex, which deletes a vertex at a given x and y coordinate. And we have a method called is graph connected, which returns true if the graph is connected, else it returns false. And we have a method called connect all vertices, which connects each vertex of the graph to every other vertex, producing a connected graph. And we have a method called connect vertices, which connect each of the vertices to every other given vertex. Now we have a method called remove all edges, which removes all the edges of a graph. And we have similarly we have disconnect vertex, which removes all the edges incident on the vertex with given x and y coordinates. And we have a method called clear graph, which clears the graph and sets it to empty.
As I said before, the graph controller class contains the methods which controls the events. The two most important inner classes of the graph controller class are vertex gestures and edge gestures. These classes contains methods which handles the two events of mouse, which are mouse click and mouse drag. Now we have a method called handle. If a click is done and it is not dragged, we create a new circle and add it to the stage. Else, if we click and drag, we change the position of the vertex to the desired position. Next, we have edge gestures, which is responsible for handling edges. So, when we have two vertices and when one vertex is highlighted, when we click on the other vertex, then we perform a draw event, which draws an edge. Now my friend Pawan will continue.
Now we have a class called canvas gestures, which is used to contain and assign mouse click, release and drag event handlers to the canvas. So this class is mainly useful when we perform a right click operation and we get a context menu. So here we create a context menu and we add options like clear graph, connect graph and disconnect graph, and we finally handle all these events using handle method. Now we have a method called hide context menus, which hides all the context menus after selecting an option from the right click, and after completing all these we will add these things to the stage. So after adding all this, we have a main class, driver class, which creates a new graph and adds all the stages, and when we run we will get an output like this. So here we have an empty screen, an empty graph at the start. So when we perform a click, we get a vertex, and we perform a click on other side, we will get another vertex. Now when we select this vertex, now when we select this vertex and this vertex, we will get an edge, and also we can drag, and when we perform a right click operation, we will get these three options which we implemented in the context menu, which is called clear graph, connect graph and disconnect graph. So when we click connect graph, all the vertices will be connected, and when we click the disconnect graph, all the vertices will be disconnected, and when we perform clear graph, all the vertices will be cleared. Thank you.